Hey everyone, I'm back and today we're going to be talking about The Truth About Cats and Dogs, and this movie came out in 1996 and it's a movie that, like I said in my previous video, it was just a DVD that was sitting around collecting dust and I decided, you know what, I'll just watch it, let's see what happens, and it wasn't boring, I'll tell you that. It was pretty cheesy throughout the whole thing, but I feel as though that was intentional, and at points it made me laugh, and there were some ideas that were kind of funny, and there were moments that I enjoyed, and the characters, I enjoyed watching them, and I liked seeing what they were doing. Even though the situation is pretty ridiculous, and probably no one would do this ever, it is funny how things get resolved, and how they're trying to deal with it, and I thought the performances were good, and no one stood out to me as bad, and that's about all of my positives. And the rest of the movie, it's really cheesy, and for some people that might make the movie better, others it might make it worse, but I'm kind of in the middle. I thought it made it entertaining, but I can't say that makes it good, and there are a lot of scenes that are just stupid, and I just don't understand why you would do something in the way that characters do in this movie, and I'm not going to point out specifics because I don't want to spoil anything, but there are some really weird choices that this movie makes, and leaving me wondering, why are you doing it this way? Why are we going in this direction? And eventually you do get the answer. It's to get to the end to see how everything resolves, and the build-up is kind of weird when they get to it, and the payoff is alright, I guess. It's what you would expect, but at the same time I don't really feel satisfied. And the music in the movie was really cheesy and did not add anything to the film at all, and it communicated the tone as to what they were going for, but it just wasn't anything memorable to me, and it was just like barely leaving a mark in my brain. And what I mean by that is it's not memorable to me, and it just like flies right over my head, and it doesn't even stick in here. If that makes sense. And looking at the cover for this DVD, I always knew that Uma Thurman was in it because she's on the cover, and her name is on the cover as well. But I wasn't expecting Jamie Foxx to be in this movie as well. And when he showed up in the movie, I was like, whoa, Jamie Foxx is in this movie? I wasn't expecting that. And apparently I missed him, but apparently Bob Odenkirk was also in this movie. And he's credited as a bookstore man. Apparently I missed him. Also, they also do the trope of writing our two main leads in this movie as opposites. And one of them is really strong and confident, like on the phone, whereas the other is really good with people and isn't really shy about anything, and is really disgusted by animals and doesn't want to be anywhere near them. Whereas the other is perfectly fine, and she really connects with animals, and that was a bit annoying. And although it was funny at a couple points, it just didn't really seem like it was necessary and could have been taken out of the movie, personally. And this movie is only an hour and a half, and it really does take a long time for things to get resolved, and it's just lots of build-up and build-up and build-up, and despite it only being an hour and a half, a lot of it did seem really repetitive to me. And I wished that this movie was much shorter than it was, and probably would have worked better as a short film. But that didn't happen, so we're left with an hour and a half, and there's a lot of filler in this movie, and I'm just waiting for something to happen, and barely anything happens in this movie, and the most eventful thing is like whenever the dog is on screen, and I like the dog because I like dogs, but everything else is just kind of, I've seen this, done that, and we're going from here to here, and it just keeps going, and it does get pretty tiring after a while. And that's about all I have to say about The Truth About Cats and Dogs. It's fine. I wasn't bored, but Just because I wasn't bored doesn't mean it's good. And although I didn't regret watching this movie, it did feel as though I kind of wasted my time watching it. And I didn't really get much out of it. And if this movie looks funny to you or like good in any way, then I would say that you'll be fine at checking it out. If it looks like a movie you will like, then you'll probably like it. If it looks like a movie that you'll hate, you'll probably hate it. I thought it was going to be fine, and what I got was a movie that was fine. And with all that being said, I'm going to give The Truth About Cats and Dogs a 5 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of The Truth About Cats and Dogs, and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Friday the 13th, the remake, because it's short. And I don't really feel like watching a long movie. So that's why I'm watching that. So look forward to that. But until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.